So, Pierre, we're now in front of one of the bikes.
Yes.
So, can you tell me which bike it is and what activity it's meant for?
The program, yes. So this is the Chiru Chilkoot. So this bike is an all-road bike. That means you can use it on the road with tires around 28-30 millimeter. So that means for long distance riding or with comfort. Or you can fit it as a gravel bike for what we call fast gravel with tires up to 40 millimeter, okay, in 700C. But you can also fit that bike with 650B times 48C, 48 mm width for more plushness, either on the road or of course on the gravel. It will be more comfortable. So that bike is really in between our Kunlun and our Vegas. That means Vegas is a gravel adventure where the tire clearance is way bigger and the geometry a bit more slack for more adventure gravel. And this one would be quite close to our road bike, but with a geometry which is going more towards gravel. So it's just some fine tweaks in terms of the chainstay length, the fork angle or the seat tube angle, and the overall relaxed geometry that we have. The compatibility in terms of transmission for this frame is either 1x, as you can see it right there, up to 44 teeth. But you can also put a 2x group set, such as GRX 4831. The standard is, of course, 142 times 12 and 100 by 12 for the wheels. So that's really the standard of gravel and road bike for through axles today. So this bike, the specifics in terms of design, so as all our Chiru bikes, no tubes around. So everything is worked out to deliver a specific functionality. On the rear triangle, maybe you can find that is something that is very specific to some of our frame. The chainstay here is oval, and you can say from the top, you'll see it's very wide. It's an oval horizontal. Traditionally on a bike, because of construction and clearances, you want to have, people would have an oval but vertical, in the vertical plane. But actually, an oval in vertical plane makes your bike stiffer vertically and more soft laterally. And actually, if you want power transfer, or you want the opposite, and comfort. If you want comfort power transfer, you need to put your oval horizontal. But that's difficult to put. It's a lot of deformation and works because you have also to bend it that way. So the tube is more difficult to bend that way. Yeah. So it's a big nightmare to produce. It's a bit, that's why also maybe people don't do it that much. But actually it delivers a much better ride feel and transmission and more comfort. So to go together with this chainstay, there is a yoke right there, which allows us to maximize the chainring clearance and the tire clearance altogether, because that point is quite critical in terms of space.
Let's see if I can.
So here we have quite a lot of clearance. I think those tires might be smaller than 40, I think. They must be a little bit smaller, or they are 40s. Right, so we always like to have enough clearance, and you have, of course, enough space for a double chain ring on that bike. The other, so specific for the rear triangle, is the chainstay here. They are oval, but this time vertical. So the idea, if you look at it from behind, maybe you will be able to see that these two chainstay are actually bended right there. They are not straight. And when you have a shock that's going vertically up, when you go in a pothole or anything like that, the consequence is that the chainstay will flex on the outside, right? Because they are curved this way, and we have reduced the thickness on the laterally. So naturally, the deformation will go outside and then act like a little bit like a damper, like a spring somehow. Okay, spring and damper contact. And they are not connected to the seat tube, they are connected to the top tube. So you see, they are not welded here, there's a space, there's a gap. And this is done specifically to allow two things. One is the more freedom in the movement of the seat tube itself and the seat post. That means it will be able to bend around this point and allow more flexibility right there. And the second thing is to dissociate the stay from that point and weld them right there, which will allow a little bit longer length, so more deformation for the shock absorption. All right. So that's also, that's a little bit more complicated to manufacture because we need to put a bridge right there when we are welding, and then we have to remove it afterwards in order to guarantee the space is always the same right there. But it's also another advantage is that you don't have to weld into the tube, so you deform the seat tube a little bit less. So that's a bit different. Regarding the tube forming and everything, this is oval, okay? So that allows also more vertical compliance on the frame vertically. This down tube, so that's maybe also one of the most different that we have, is hydroformed towards the bottom to be very wide and flat at the bottom. So that allows as well for more vertical compliance, but also lateral stiffness. So when you're pedaling, you are like deforming the bike sideways. So that helps to give a bit more rigidity into the frame when you pedal, and some good, I would say, a spring effect on the bottom bracket. The BB shell itself is also with, as you can see maybe when you get closer, with a different diameters. It's not like a traditional BB shell you see on steel or titanium bikes. And so they are done to allow inside to have the cables in internal routing below the bottom bracket. All right, so you can do, if you want, full internal, but we have also two holes, and you can have the cables to come out as well. Right. So when you are in AXS, those two holes, you have plugs, you can close them. You don't need them only. And then your brake also can be fitted either outside or like it is right now inside, routing inside. Right. Now on the head tube, you will see also our head tube is quite specific. That means we have the cable entry right there, which is flush. And goes directly after it is guided inside your down tube. We started to put these things like more on the down tube, but the thickness is less right here than here. So you create a more chance of break or weak point right there, and that's not what we want to do. So of course it's more work. It's quite hard to do that part right there because we weld a specific pipe where after we have to fill up and polish, so it's a long process, but we can achieve something which is very unique and neat in the cable routing. It's of course a taper shape head tube, and here you have also another hole where you can collect the dynamo cable, fit it back there, route it inside here. And inside here you have another hole, which a plug you remove, and you can fix your light at the back for the rear lights, either at the top or at the bottom, up to you. I prefer the top because there's more visibility at the top and it gets less dirty from the road splash. This one has our titanium badge, which is engraved. I don't know if maybe you can see it better, right, like this, and bolted right there, the Chiru animal head right here. And other specifics that you can see on the frame is the ID plates that we have here. This is removable, so you can of course personalize your bike right there. It can be your own blood group, your emergency number, Anything you want to put there, your favorite race number, or whatever you like to have. Another key point, differentiation of the tube right there. Of course, it's oval here for more lateral stiffness, but we have in logo the 112, which is the international emergency. So when you fall, you're not necessarily very clear in your head. If you're by yourself or somebody around, you know that on your bike, no matter which country you're in, if you forgot the number is written there. I keep forgetting this number every time.
And when you're in a panic or you're unwell,
it's right there. So that you can find this in this positioning. On the other side, we have longer, stronger, faster, which is the motto from the Chiru Brigade that you find right back there in laser engraving, and the logos in the front. In terms of fixing point, mounting point, you've got, of course, the mounting point right here, free for frame bag, and one right here. So you can have frame bag made according to dimensions so that you have a very neat and optimized storage in your frame. Here, of course, mounting bolt for the bottle cage, and here mounting bolt also for bottle cage, but also 3-point anything cage that it's called. I think it's a name from a product from a brand, but everybody uses that word. It's like a big cage where you can put volley strap and carry something which is a little bit bigger. And other mounting points right here, if you want to get external with your cable routing, you have like little clamps, and you can put all your cables on the outside if you need to. So on the forks is our carbon fork, number 400. You can put also bottle cage on the side. You can mount fender. You can mount a light as well, and you can put your dynamo cable internal. The brake cable is also internal on the other side, right? So you got all the specifics right there. Our seat tubes are for 27.2 seat posts, because it gives you more flex usually on that, depending on the material. So we also have, through our brand CEC, some titanium seat posts, titanium stem, titanium handlebar available to equip your frame within the same material. So I think that's more or less all there is to say on that bike. You have the Di2 cable port, so you can, of course, wire it in Di2 or in AXS as well.
Okay.
Thank
you very much.
No problem.